you know Joe Biden very well, and you knew Jesse Helms very well. Funny stories of hilarious gaffes witnessed that had not been made public yet. Could you share one or two
Sure.
of them?
Well, one of the traditions in the Senate that I write about in While America Sleeps is that when foreign leaders come to meet with the president or come to the country, one of the opportunities you get is to go in the old foreign relations room right in the Capitol, which is a small conference table with beautiful chandeliers, and they put out a nice coffee with nice coffee service and a nice fruit plate or something, a printed menu. It's just one of the few things that's still left that is sort of maintains that old style in the Senate. So it was a great way. I mean, I met people like Mubarak there, Mugabe, people like Yeltsin and others would come in, and you get the opportunity to hear them talk for about 10 minutes, and then each of us, according to seniority, got to ask a question. Well, not long after the famous peace agreement on the South Lawn, Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin was visiting Washington. So he was scheduled to come over, and he was a little late. And one of my staff members, who actually has an Israeli husband, said to the Senator Helms, who was going to greet him, in Israel, they don't say Rabin, they say Robin. Okay? So we wait, and the door opens, there's the Prime Minister. And Senator Helms says, well, the red robin comes bobbing along. Just Rabin. People said, what did Rabin say? Well, you remember Rabin, you went, ugh. And we moved on. The Biden story won't surprise you, perhaps. I love Joe Biden. He was a great senator, a tremendously knowledgeable guy. But once in a while, Joe just says stuff, and you never know what it's going to be. So on another one of these occasions, we had not just a king, but a king and a queen coming down for one of these things. King and Queen of Jordan, King Abdullah, Queen Rania. And they come in, and they're seated formally at the table, and real early on, because Joe was either the chairman or the ranking member, it's his job to sort of do the formal greeting. And then Senator Biden says, Your Majesty, turning to King Abdullah, I see you have the same fine taste and partners as your father did. And I looked across the table for John Kerry and Chris Dodd, and it was one of those moments when you just hope to God that you won't burst out laughing. And I thought to myself, in other times, someone saying something like that about a monarch's spouse, he'd probably be disposed of on the spot. But Joe Biden got away with it. So those are a couple of things I remember that I didn't particularly feel comfortable talking about while I was still in the Senate. So it's one of the advantages.